If there is one thing that matters most in this world, then it is power. But power does not merely reside in the throne, the office chair, or the weight of wealth. True power lies in maintaining composure in every situation, staying calm and collected when chaos surrounds you, and in guiding others to align with your vision without uttering a command. But how does such mastery unfold? The answer is simple, yet profound. While most people unknowingly become pawns in the game, there are a rare few who actually design the board. This book, The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene, is written for those few. Each law in this book is like a finely sharpened sword, subtle, strategic, and immensely powerful. It teaches you how to navigate the game of influence with intelligence, grace, and control. Now the real question is, are you ready? To understand the game, law number 1, never outshine the master. This law is widely known, yet frequently ignored. Never present yourself as more intelligent, capable, or talented than your superior. Why? Because no one, especially someone in a position of authority, wants to feel overshadowed. If your brilliance makes your boss feel insecure, you'll be seen not as an asset, but as a threat. In that moment, your rise becomes their concern. They may subtly start to block your progress or remove you from their path entirely. Instead of shining too brightly, let your light glow gently behind the scenes. Allow your superiors to take the spotlight and feel admired. After all, isn't it smarter to let others feel powerful while you quietly build real power behind the curtain? Remember, real power lies in restraint. Hide your potential. Let others bask in praise. In doing so, you ensure your longevity in the game. Law number 2, never reveal your true intentions. If people can predict your next move, they can plan their defense and sabotage you before you act. Transparency may sound noble, but in the game of power, it's a vulnerability. When your thoughts and goals remain hidden, you maintain the upper hand. Confusion becomes your ally. While others guess your motives, you move forward undetected. Keep your plans veiled. Be pleasant, be polite, but never be fully understood. As the saying goes, speak like a lamb, but think like a lion. Play innocent in words, but be sharp and strategic in your mind. Why show your hand when mystery alone can give you the advantage? In a world full of open books, the closed one becomes the most intriguing and the most dangerous. Law number 3, always be needed. If you seek help, favors, or loyalty, first ensure people feel that you are of value to them. Make yourself essential. Let your presence feel like a missing puzzle piece in their lives. Whether through your skills, knowledge, or connections, build a reputation that says, I'm not optional, I'm necessary. As long as people see benefit in keeping you close, they'll support you. But the moment they sense they no longer need you, they'll walk away without hesitation. So how do you stay indispensable? Constantly offer something of worth. Be the person they can't do without. In the end, only the useful survive. Law number 4, protect your value by creating distance. Familiarity, as they say, breeds contempt. If you're constantly present, constantly accessible, people may start taking you for granted. Your value diminishes, not because you offer less, but because you offer too often. Create space. Let others feel your absence so they can appreciate your presence. Think of yourself like a rare gem seen occasionally, desired continuously.
Bye.
Limiting your availability, you increase your allure. Let your presence feel like a privilege, not a routine. When you are around everyone all the time, people start taking your value, ... But when you keep a little gap, keep yourself a little exclusive, then people understand your value more. Creating space between you and others is not just a strategy, it's a silent statement of worth. When you are always available, always saying yes, people begin to take your presence for granted. But distance, when used wisely, becomes a powerful magnet. It creates curiosity. It builds demand. If you're easily accessible, your worth may diminish in their eyes. However, if your time is perceived as rare and precious, others will begin to treat it with more respect. So how can you turn your presence into a luxury? Appear only occasionally, but when you do, make it unforgettable. Speak with purpose, move with confidence, and leave behind an impression that lingers. Let people feel your absence enough to miss you, but not so long that they forget you exist. Power belongs to those who know how to manage their presence. Be cautious. Don't drift too far and fade into obscurity, but don't cling so closely that your significance dissolves. Balance is the secret, the real form of power. Law number 5. A lot depends on how you look. Always impress. In the game of power, perception often outweighs reality. People judge not who you truly are, but what they see you to be. That's why appearance, body language, and attitude must work together like armor. How you dress, how you speak, and how you carry yourself will either elevate your image or silently sabotage it. Every time you walk into a room, treat it like a stage. Ask yourself, does my presence command respect? Never allow yourself to be seen as ordinary. Even the most brilliant minds can be overlooked if they look dull and uninspiring. Just being capable isn't enough, being noticed is essential. Present yourself like a premium brand, polished, composed, and compelling. Your aura should say, I am someone worth paying attention to. Because when you look powerful, others will naturally feel more powerful standing beside you. Law number 6. Attract attention in every situation. Whether it is negative or positive, in today's world, visibility is everything. If you are not seen, you are forgotten. You may be full of talent and potential, but if no one notices you, it simply doesn't matter. Silence makes you invisible. You disappear from the narrative, and soon from people's memories. But do something bold, something unexpected, even if it invites criticism, and suddenly, all eyes are on you. You don't always need applause. Sometimes attention comes wrapped in controversy or surprise. But attention, in any form, gives you influence. Be intriguing. Be unpredictable. Stir curiosity. Become the kind of person others can't stop watching, whether you dazzle or disrupt. Make sure you stay in sight, because where there is attention, there is power. Don't settle for being forgettable. Be the spark that people remember. Law number 7. Get others to work for you, but take the credit yourself. If you try to do everything on your own, you will exhaust yourself and achieve only limited success. The real strength lies in delegation, using the efforts, talents, and ideas of others to build your own legacy. This is not manipulation, but mastery. Leaders do not carry every load. They build systems, surround themselves with capable people, and then take charge of the outcome. The game of power often rewards the one who claims credit. It's not necessarily the one who did all the work. Many people give their best only for someone else to walk away with the recognition. This may seem unfair, but it is the reality of influence. If you learn to harness the abilities of others effectively while still directing the spotlight, you will rise faster and farther. The key is subtlety. Do it wisely, do it calmly, and never let the other person feel exploited. That is the true art of control. This is the real mastery. Law number 8 of power. Influence people with your actions, not with your words. People talk a lot, promise, and show big dreams, but the real difference is made only when you do something. The effect of words lasts for some time, but the effect of actions is much deeper. Words can inspire, they can persuade, and they can even deceive, but their impact fades over time. Actions, on the other hand, carve a lasting impression. If you speak too much without doing, people stop listening. Your words lose weight. But if you act quietly, decisively, and effectively, your silence becomes louder than any speech. So say less and do more. When results speak for you, when people witness your success without prior announcement, your reputation grows organically. Respect increases, and with it, a certain quiet fear emerges in the minds of others. Why? Because they realize you don't need to boast, you deliver. The noise of actions always echoes farther than the noise of empty talk. Power lies with those who silently change the game, surprising everyone around them. People look again and whisper, "This person isn't what we thought," or something else entirely. Law number 9. Influence the thinking of others to achieve victory. Real power is not just about strength, it's about strategy. Those who master the game of influence can often win without lifting a finger. Understanding what others are thinking, their desires, their doubts, their fears, is like having a map of the battlefield before the fight even begins. When you can read the mind of another, you can predict their next move before they make it. That puts you 2 steps ahead always. This is the weapon of true leaders and powerful individuals. They study people, they listen carefully, they observe patterns, then with surgical precision, they act. If you know someone's internal world, you can guide it, shape it, even control it. Never engage in a game blindly. To influence others, first understand them. Only then can you turn their thoughts into your advantage. Learn this, and you will naturally rise in power. Law number 10. Do not trust any person too much. Be cautious of your friends, and use your enemies. It sounds harsh, even cold. But history proves it time and again. The deepest betrayals often come from those closest to you. Friends know your secrets. They know your weaknesses. Sometimes, whether out of jealousy or opportunity, they turn against you when you least expect it. Too much closeness can become a liability. That's why even friendship must be navigated with a sharp mind. In contrast, enemies, because they have something to prove, often act with more integrity, especially when they are trying to earn your trust or change their standing. In the game of power, emotions must be controlled. Use logic, not feelings. Build relationships carefully, not impulsively. Do not blindly trust anyone. Observe them. Test them. Only then decide who gets to be near your circle. True wisdom lies in choosing people strategically. Form your alliances based not on affection, but alignment of interest. Watch behavior over time. People reveal themselves if you're paying attention. Law number 11. Don't let people run away from you. Make them dependent. Control is not just about presence. It's about necessity. If people feel they can survive or succeed without you, they will drift away. But if they believe that part of their success, growth, or happiness depends on something you offer, your expertise, your network, your insight, they'll keep coming back. Dependence creates loyalty. Be smart with what you give. Share just enough to help, but never so much that they outgrow you completely. Keep part of your knowledge, your edge, to yourself. Maintain a unique value that others can't replicate. If you give away everything, one day you may find you've given away your position too. Let others feel that only you can fill a specific gap in their lives or careers. This is the core of subtle control. Let them seek you, need you, and even rely on you. When people feel incomplete without you, you hold real power. Law number 12. Destroy your enemy completely. It is dangerous to leave things half done. When you face an opponent, whether in competition, conflict, or rivalry, ever leave the battle unfinished. A half-defeated enemy is the most dangerous kind. They recover, they plot, they return with vengeance. He can come back again, gather strength, and harm you. It's an enemy left standing, if defeated once, can eventually rise again, stronger and more dangerous than before. That's the hidden risk of an incomplete victory. While you move on, your opponent quietly nurtures resentment, strategizes revenge, and prepares for the perfect moment to strike. Like a fire not fully extinguished, the embers of his anger may ignite again. Incomplete victory is sometimes more dangerous because the opponent keeps preparing for revenge inside. It is like leaving a wound untreated. Sooner or later, it festers. If you truly want peace and freedom from future threats, you must secure absolute victory. Defeat your enemy not only in battle, but also in spirit. Crush him, not just physically, but mentally and socially. Break his influence, his confidence, and his network so thoroughly that the thought of retaliation never even crosses his mind. This, however, must be done with precision. There's a line between strategy and cruelty. Excessive brutality can damage your image and make you look heartless. But remember, in serious games of power, mercy shown at the wrong time is an invitation to your own defeat. A partially defeated enemy is a future danger waiting to unfold. Law number 13. Make people dependent on you. Only then will your control last. If you want to ensure that people never leave your side, never outgrow or abandon you, then the answer lies in creating meaningful dependency. Let them feel that you are not just helpful but essential. Become part of their needs, their decisions, their projects. Tangle yourself in their success to such a degree that your absence feels like a missing piece of their future. As long as something is incomplete, they will keep coming back to you. Dependency is silent power. But if you teach them everything, give them total freedom, and make them completely self-sufficient, then one day they may no longer need you on. That's when they leave. Or worse, surpass you. So always keep a thread in your hand. Let them learn, but never entirely. Let them grow, but keep a piece of the foundation with you. Whether it's emotional support, intellectual insight, or practical skill, leave something they still need you for. When people feel they cannot move forward without you, they begin to revolve around you. That's when control becomes effortless. Create dependency. The reins of power fall naturally into your hands. Law number 14. Use enemies instead of friends. They often work with more honesty. It's easy to assume that friends are the most reliable allies. But in the realm of power, emotions can cloud judgment. Friendships, over time, grow into expectations and demands. Friends may begin to feel entitled, which can weaken their focus or make them less efficient. They may start putting their personal interests ahead of yours. Now consider an enemy if you manage to win him over and bring him into your fold. He has something to prove. He works harder, stays more loyal, and aims to redeem himself in your eyes. His commitment is often rooted in ambition, not comfort. And in this game, that makes all the difference. So ask yourself, why not turn an old enemy into your most valuable asset? Their fear of losing ground again will push them to perform with unmatched dedication. Not every bond must come from the heart. Relationships built with the mind are often more strategic and more powerful. The ability to convert an adversary into an ally is a sign of true mastery in the game of influence. Law number 15. Destroy your enemies completely. Half steps do harm. Power demands decisiveness. In this world, half-hearted actions invite full-scale consequences. If you identify someone as a threat, if you engage in conflict, then there is no room for hesitation or incomplete measures. An enemy only partially dealt with will return, and when they do, they will be prepared, ruthless, and more determined than ever. That's why. When you choose to fight, fight in such a way that there's no path left for their recovery. Remove their influence, discredit their reputation, exhaust their resources so thoroughly that they are left with no will, no means, and no allies. But do this smartly, not through noisy, public battles that draw unnecessary attention, but through silent, strategic moves. Make your play like a skilled chess master, quietly, cleanly, and effectively. A war left unfinished is an invitation to retaliation. Either choose not to fight at all. If you do, make sure you end it on your terms, with finality. That's the signature of real strength. That is the essence of true power. Law number 16. People. If you are always around everyone, you will be available all the time, then people start taking you lightly. When you make yourself too accessible, too frequently present in every situation, people begin to overlook your value. Familiarity breeds indifference. Power, on the other hand, often lies in scarcity. Those who are truly influential appear only when necessary. And when they do, the room pays attention. If you're always around, people stop noticing. But the moment you disappear, they begin to feel your absence. They wonder where you've gone, why you're not there, and what you might be doing. Very curiosity enhances your perceived worth. People start remembering your contributions, missing your presence, and even imagining your power to be greater than it is. Keep yourself away from time to time so that people feel your need. Distance is not a weakness, it's a strategic move. When done deliberately, it strengthens your position in others' minds. Don't overexpose yourself. Don't be too available. Instead, choose when to appear. Create moments where your presence feels like a rare event, not a routine occurrence. This distance makes your image stronger in the minds of people. Too much availability diminishes status, Sometimes disappearing is not avoidance, it's power. Be limited. Be powerful. Law number 17. Create drama and thrill in the environment. Avoid predictability. When people can predict your every move, when your behavior becomes routine, you lose your edge. Predictability is the enemy of influence. Powerful presence always carries a layer of mystery and unexpected twist, surprise decision, or a moment of calculated silence that leaves people guessing. Why do we pay more attention to what we don't understand? Because mystery invites curiosity. A little unpredictability, just a touch of drama adds spark to your image. It creates a psychological atmosphere where others are compelled to focus on you. Anticipate your next move and feel uncertain without your cues. Power comes when you become a mystery to people. If you're too easy to read, you'll seem simple and unthreatening. But if people never quite know what you'll do next, they remain alertness. That alertness leads to respect. Surprise them. You don't always be the same. You don't let people place you in a neat little box. Every time they think they've figured you out, change the rhythm. A little theatricality, some suspense. Even a curious silence can work in your favor. This suspense will become your edge. Tension is power, and curiosity is the path to it. So never reveal everything. Do not open up, keep some secrets. Law number 18. When you isolate others, you yourself become weak. Power often deceives people into thinking they can stand alone. Many, after reaching a certain level of authority or success, begin to cut themselves off from others. They believe they no longer need connection. They stop listening. They stop observing. And that is where the real danger begins. When you isolate yourself too much, you begin to lose touch with reality. You don't know what people truly think of you. You miss subtle threats. You lose your access to real-time knowledge, to ground level intelligence, and to the hidden currents of human behavior. Being completely disconnected makes you weak. It's one thing to enjoy solitude, to reflect quietly, but shutting yourself off from all others is a trap. Networks matter. Conversations matter. You need allies, sources, and feedback. You need to stay connected, but on your terms. So yes, build your alliances, but manage those relationships with care. Keep your independence, but don't lose your connection. Not run away from the crowd, learn to manage it. That is the real power. Law number 19, do not make friends with the wrong person. It can destroy you. In the journey of power, the people you allow into your inner circle can either strengthen your position or ruin it. Choosing the wrong companion can cost you dearly. Sometimes, people who appear pleasant on the outside are full of insecurities, jealousy, or deep-rooted negativity on the inside. And once they enter your life, they begin to spread that toxicity. Some people seem very nice from outside, but from inside they have fear and jealousy. These are not harmless flaws, they are threats to your clarity, your decisions, and your direction. Their presence clouds your judgment, drains your energy, and slows your progress. Even worse, they may pull you into unnecessary emotional conflict or frequent chaos if you want to rise in power. Remember, it's not about being liked by everyone. It's about recognizing who belongs in your space and who doesn't. You do not need to connect with everyone. You only need to connect with the right people. Stay away from people who bring trouble again and again, are emotionally unstable, or get into trouble in everything. One wrong alliance can undo years of progress. So choose wisely and protect your circle like your crown, because their messed up nature will pull you to one day. No matter how old a person is in the relationship, no matter how long you've known someone, years, decades, or even a lifetime, if their nature is unstable, it's negative or destructive, staying close to them is like holding a ticking time bomb. Eventually, their chaos becomes your chaos. Their instability begins to seep into your life, silently corroding your focus, decisions, and peace of mind. It doesn't matter how deep the bond is. If that person consistently brings problems, keeping them close is like shooting yourself in the foot, a self-inflicted injury you could have avoided. Their constant trouble will one day pull you down too. It won't give any warning. Law no. 20. do not show yourself to be too honest. Never tell everything. In this world, brutal honesty is often used as a weapon against you. The more openly you reveal your thoughts, your feelings, and your intentions, the more ammunition you give others. People rarely evaluate you based on your words alone. Instead, they read between the lines. They observe your silences, and they respect your mystery. Complete transparency may feel virtuous, but in the power game, it's often a liability. When people know too much about you, they may either consider you naive and weak, or worse, use your own truths to manipulate you. If you tell everything truthfully and openly, then people will either consider you weak or use the same honesty against you. Keep some things only to yourself. Speak less. Let your actions do the talking. The less people know about your plans and feelings, the more unpredictable and powerful you become. When people feel there's more to you than meets the eye, they become cautious. And respect follows. Secrecy is not deception, it's protection. Not everyone deserves full access to your mind or motives, so be smart. Show just enough honesty to build trust, but always reserve something for yourself. That's where real strength lies. Law No. 21. Don't be smarter than others in everything. Don't hurt people's ego. No one likes to be outshined all the time. If you constantly project yourself as the most intelligent, the fastest thinker, or the most capable person in every room, others may feel inferior, and resentment builds quickly. Their egos become bruised, and bruised egos often turn into silent enemies. When people feel overshadowed, they start plotting behind the scenes. That's why true wisdom lies in knowing when to step back. Let others win occasionally. Let them take the spotlight sometimes. Doesn't diminish your value. It strengthens your grip. Real powerful people don't always seek praise, they observe, adjust, and control the flow. Sometimes, let others feel smarter. Let them feel important. This subtle play keeps their egos satisfied and makes them more cooperative. Power isn't always loud. Sometimes it works quietly beneath the surface. A strong leader doesn't just lead. They make others feel comfortable being led. Taking people's ego along with them and leading without insulting them is the real strategy. Law No. 22. Never take defeat seriously. Defeat is not always a loss, it can be a disguise. In situations where your opponent is too strong or the environment too hostile, stepping back temporarily is not a weakness. It's intelligence. Surrendering at the right time gives you room to reassess, regroup, prepare your comeback. If you are strong, then it is better to step back a little and surrender rather than clashing. Too often people react in the heat of the moment. By anger, ego, or pride, end up losing far more than they had to. But those who master the art of staying silent during chaos, those who appear to give in but quietly prepare behind the scenes, are the ones who strike hardest when the moment is right. So don't take every loss to heart. If it helps you survive and strike smarter later, it's a strategic delay, not a failure. The other person thinks that he has one, but inside you are preparing for the next move. This is the real power. True power is about timing, knowing when to act and when to pause. Law No. 23. Do not work with your hands. Get the work done by others and take the credit yourself. When you take on every task by yourself, people see you as a worker, not a strategist. Hard work earns respect, but it doesn't always translate into power. It's a true masters of influence. Rarely do everything themselves. They delegate, coordinate, and take credit for the outcome. Let others execute the plan. Let them run the operations. Meanwhile, you stay above the chaos, pulling the strings. People will associate success with your name, not because you did all the work, but because you directed it. This isn't manipulation, it's strategy. If you want to be known as the architect, not just the laborer, learn how to mobilize people and claim the results. That is how you build influence that lasts. A powerful person does not tire himself. He uses the skills of others. He saves his energy, preserves his time, and focuses his mind only on what truly matters. Just as a king rarely steps onto the battlefield himself, but still wins the war through his army and generals, Powerful people avoid becoming entangled in minor tasks. Instead, they skillfully delegate. This delegation is not blatant, it's subtle, almost invisible. The key is to engage others in such a way that they don't even realize they are being used as instruments for your vision. Let them feel important. Let them feel ownership. Meanwhile, you quietly steer the ship, and when success arrives, seize the moment. Take credit, but do it with finesse. Make others believe that the victory was born from your vision, guided by your leadership. The labor may be theirs, but the legacy, that becomes yours. This is not deception, it's the real wisdom of power. It's how influence is built and empires are sustained. Law No. 24. Behave. It's like a king, so that people treat you like a king. The world mirrors your self-image. If you walk into a room unsure, hesitant, or timid, don't be surprised when people ignore you or overlook your words. But if you carry yourself with confidence, discipline, and self-worth like someone who knows their value, then people will treat you accordingly. Looking powerful is already half the battle won. The way you stand, speak, and decide must reflect calm command. Your movements should show grace, not arrogance. Your words should carry authority, not aggression. You don't have to shout to be heard. True presence speaks without volume. Create your own standards. Don't chase after others' validation. Set your own throne. When you elevate yourself, others will have no choice but to rise in respect. This is the silent charisma, the magnetic aura that draws loyalty without demands. This is the vibe that forces people to respect you. Law No. 25. Learn to reinvent yourself. Change as per your need. If you remain the same day after day, people will figure you out. They will predict your actions, anticipate your responses, and eventually gain control over you. But when you keep transforming, when you shift your role, your image, your energy to match the moment, you stay untouchable. Powerful people are shapeshifters. They shed their old skin like a snake and emerge renewed, stronger, wiser. Sometimes you need to become softer, more diplomatic. At other times, you must appear bold, artistic, or visionary. Do you know how to switch roles? Because rigidity breaks, but flexibility survives. The world changes fast, and if you're not adapting, you're falling behind. Update your identity, upgrade your presence, and define your own image again and again. This constant evolution is not weakness. It's your hidden strength. This is what makes you stronger than everyone else, Law. No. 26. Keep your victory under control. Never go ahead more than necessary. It's in the glow of victory that most people make their worst mistakes. The rush of success can cloud your judgment. You want more recognition, more power, more control, and that craving pulls you out of balance. But real mastery lies in restraint. Know when to stop, know when to pause, even when you could go further. Winning is not about how far you go, it's about knowing when to step back and secure what you've gained. After a win, resist the temptation to flaunt. Be composed. Let others celebrate while you observe quietly. 8. Sometimes the greatest strength is showing less and knowing more. Power grows when it is held back with wisdom, not when it spills over in ego. Most games are lost after victory, not before. So walk wisely. Hold your calm. Stay one step ahead, not just in battle, but in self-control. Walk carefully. Stay calm and focus on the game. Law No. 27. Give people a common belief. Create a movement so that they follow you. Great leaders are not followed just because they are strong or smart. They are followed because they awaken belief. They offer people a shared vision, a unifying idea, a purpose larger than themselves. When people believe in something beyond personal gain, they move together as one. Want true influence? Don't just lead, inspire. Give people something to believe in. They need a purpose in which they can connect themselves. Human beings crave meaning. They want to feel part of something bigger than just themselves. If you can give them a strong purpose, if you present a clear vision or a powerful dream, they will naturally begin to follow you. Think of how great leaders throughout history have created religious movements, revolutions, or causes larger than life. People don't just follow logic, they follow belief, they follow emotion. In the same way, you must build an emotional or ideological framework that people can latch onto. It doesn't have to be complex. It only needs to feel real. Make them believe that what they are a part of matters. When people begin to feel that their actions contribute to something greater, they develop a strong emotional bond, not just with the cause, but with you. Use this to your advantage. Give them direction. Provide symbols they can rally behind. Create rituals, simple, repeated actions or phrases that tie them emotionally to your mission. Why? Because rituals are powerful. They embed meaning. They create a sense of belonging. And that emotional bond becomes loyalty. Connect emotionally. When people start believing in the system created by you, then you can control both their actions and loyalty. This is not manipulation. This is the core of influence. This is how movements are built. This is how power spreads. Law number 28. Enter with full confidence. Fear works against you. People don't always follow the best ideas. They follow the boldest energy. In this world, everyone is reading your body language, your tone, your confidence. If you approach anything with fear, hesitation, or self-doubt, people pick up on that instantly. They question your capability. But if you enter a room with calm authority, if your steps are firm and your words carry weight, even if you're uncertain, inside people will believe in you. Confidence, even when performed, creates influence. And yes, even a wrong move made boldly can often impress more than a correct move made timidly. Do you see the irony? Sometimes it's not the action, but the energy behind it that matters. When you hesitate, you hand over power. But when you speak and act with unshakable belief, even when unsure, people sense strength and they respect it so. Present yourself boldly. Keep your back straight, your chin up. Let your tone be clear and composed. People trust those who trust themselves. There is a charm in boldness. And that charm is what attracts people towards you. Law no. 29. Everything make a plan in advance. Don't leave anything to fate. Nothing great is achieved by chance. Powerful people do not move without intention. Every action is part of a larger design. They calculate their steps, anticipate reactions, and play out scenarios in their mind before making a single move. They don't just think about today, they think weeks ahead, sometimes months. That foresight gives them a tremendous advantage. When others are reacting, they are already executing. If you don't plan ahead, life will force you to respond on the fly. And in reaction, you lose control. To maintain power, prepare not just plan, but plan B, plan C. Even backup plans for your backup plans. Play the game mentally before you play it in real life. That preparation is what makes you unshakable. When obstacles come, you won't be surprised. You'll be ready. Remember, luck helps only those who are prepared. Law number 30. Make things look easy and effortless. Hide hard work. Show magic. There's a curious truth about success. People admire what looks natural, not what looks forced. When others see you struggle, sweat, and stress through every step, they assume you're merely hardworking, not exceptional. But if you present even difficult feats with graces, though they were effortless, that's when people believe there's something unique about you. You must hide the chaos, the pain, the endless nights behind the curtain. Show only the performance. Let them see the smoothness, not the stress. When you deliver big results without showing strain, people will think, there's something special about this person. That illusion becomes your power, so keep your planning, your process, and your effort hidden. Let the outcomes speak. Make it seem as if everything you touch turns to gold not by toil, but by natural brilliance. This mystique draws admiration, creates awe. When you do a big work with grace and ease, then people will admire you and understand that you are not an ordinary person, you are special. Law number 31. Always decide your options yourself. Do not let others control you. In life, whenever you stand at a crossroads and face two paths, strive to ensure that both options are paths you have created. Why? Because if you allow others to present you with choices, the power remains with them. But when you craft the options yourself, Even if you let others believe they are choosing freely, you still hold the reins of control. This subtle form of influence is a hallmark of true power. Think about it. Cunning people often make others feel as if they are acting on their own free will, yet the path they take was carefully laid out by the mastermind all along. Don't be reactive. Avoid simply responding to circumstances as they come. Instead, be proactive, anticipate, strategize, and design your own choices. Guide people along routes that align with your larger plan. This way, even when others believe they are steering their own course, you remain the one truly directing the flow. Law No. 32. Play with people's imaginations and desires. Reality often feels heavy, harsh, and restrictive. Many people seek to escape it, preferring instead to get lost in dreams, fantasies, and hopes. If you want others to follow you, show them what connects deeply to their inner desires and wishes. Present them with a vision that taps into their hopes, a shining dream, an inspiring story, a magical possibility. People quickly tire of blunt facts and cold logic. What captivates them is the allure of something greater than the mundane. When you offer a tantalizing vision, people become emotionally invested. To become powerful, learn to read emotions. Show others not just what is true, but what they want to believe in. Become a master storyteller, someone who colors their world and fills it with wonder. Selling illusion doesn't mean deceiving, it means inspiring. When you become the source of their dreams, people begin to see you as their leader, the one who brings meaning to their lives. Law number 33. Identify the weakness of every person. From there, you can control him. Every individual has a weakness, whether it's a fear, a desire, greed, or an emotional trigger that makes them vulnerable and unique. If you pay close attention, listen carefully, and observe keenly, you can uncover these soft spots. Once found, these weaknesses become levers through which you can influence and direct others with remarkable ease. The weakness doesn't need to be huge. It's just enough to pull the right strings. Some people crave praise. Others hunger for money or security. Some fear, failure, rejection, or loneliness. Your job is to discover what moves them internally and then skillfully use that knowledge to guide their behavior. When you master this, there is no need for force or confrontation. You simply pull their inner strings. They follow willingly. Law No. 34. Behave like a king so that people consider you as such. If you want to command respect, start by valuing yourself. True power begins with self-respect. A king is recognized not only by his crown, but by his demeanor, his gestures, the way he carries himself, and the tone of his voice. A king never presents himself as small, nor does he beg for approval or validation. If you see yourself as less than others, people will reflect that belief back at you. But when you carry yourself with regal calmness, dignity, and control, others will feel your presence without you uttering a word. This royal attitude doesn't mean arrogance. It means confidence rooted in inner peace and self-assurance. It's an invisible aura that makes people pause, take notice, and treat you with the respect you deserve. It is not necessary that you possess an actual kingdom. Rather, your behavior, your way of thinking, and above all, your self-respect should be so strong that no one dares to take you lightly. True power lies in the way you carry yourself, the respect you command simply through your presence and attitude. Law No. 35. Wait for the right time. Never rush through life. Patience is more than a virtue, it is a strategic weapon. There is a perfect moment for everything, and those who hurry often stumble or make costly mistakes. A wise person understands the importance of timing. He observes carefully, studies the situation, and then makes his move when the conditions are just right. Have you ever noticed how the most successful people seem to strike at the exact moment everyone else is hesitating? If you jump ahead of others too soon, you risk exhausting your own resources or becoming an easy target for others who are better prepared. Patience is not passivity, it's strength, the ability to hold your ground and wait until the precise moment to act. This timing often means doing nothing at all, and sometimes doing nothing is the most powerful move of all. Remember, The one who can wait calmly is often the one who ultimately wins the game. Law no. 36. Ignore the trivial things. Some people or situations exist solely to provoke you. If you react to every little annoyance or distraction, others will. Quickly learn how easily they can manipulate your emotions. Power grows in silence and restraint. One of the greatest ways to assert your strength is by deliberately leaving certain provocations unanswered. By refusing to engage with those who try to bring you down, you diminish their influence and make them seem even smaller. Silence, in this context, becomes a weapon. There is fear in your quietude, a signal that you are above petty quarrels. Giving importance to every trivial matter only weakens your position. Sometimes the biggest victory is when the other person doesn't even realize they have failed to provoke a reaction from you. Law no. 37. Impress people with grandeur. The world is drawn to appearances. The raw truth can often be dull, but a spectacular presentation captures attention and leaves a lasting impression. If you want people to truly listen to what you say, give them a scene worthy of their eyes. Display so powerful and memorable that it lingers in their minds. Throughout history, kings and emperors mastered this art. Their grand costumes, majestic palaces, and gleaming golden swords were not just for show, they were symbols of power, designed to command awe and respect. Even in today's world, when you associate yourself with a significant cause or become part of a grand mission, people naturally start to follow you. Everyone craves a story, a hero to admire, someone bigger than life. Grandeur is essential too, creating that impact and inspiring loyalty. It is not just about what you do, but how you present it to the world. Law no. 38. Don't do what everyone else does. You will never stand out by blending into the crowd. If your thoughts and actions simply mirror those around you, your identity will fade into obscurity. To be powerful, you must develop your own thinking and perspective. This doesn't mean you must always oppose others or be contrary just for the sake of it. Rather, it means preserving your individuality, your unique voice. People who try to please everyone often end up pleasing no one and lose themselves in the process. Sometimes allowing yourself to be a little mysterious or different sparks curiosity and commands respect. People will try to understand your thoughts and intentions, and that intrigue elevates your presence. It's easy to follow the crowd, but true strength lies in standing apart and making your own path. Remember, power is found not in conformity, but in distinction. Law no. 35. Wait for the right time. Never be in a hurry in life. There is always a right time for everything in life. It often happens that people who are impatient, rushing constantly without pause, tend to make avoidable mistakes. A truly wise person, however, uses time as his most powerful weapon. He carefully observes the situation, fully understands the circumstances, and then makes his move at precisely the right moment. Have you ever noticed how jumping in too early before others are ready can cause you to exhaust your own energy prematurely, or even become an easy target for competitors? Timing is everything. To truly master the art of timing, one must cultivate patience. Patience is, without a doubt, a form of strength. The individual who can sense and catch the pulse of the moment becomes the true master of the game. Sometimes the biggest trick of all is knowing when to do absolutely nothing. Waiting can be the most powerful action you take. Remember this well. The one who can wait with calm endurance often wins in the long run. Law no. 36. Ignore the trivial things. In life, there are always certain people or situations that exist solely to provoke you to test your emotions. If you react to every little annoyance or petty insult, others will quickly realize just how easy it is to control your feelings and manipulate you. One of the keys to gaining true power is learning to leave some provocations unanswered. By ignoring those who try to bring you down, you not only protect your own energy, but also make them seem insignificant and small. When you choose not to respond to every bait, there is an undeniable power in your silence. Your quiet restraint can inspire fear and respect in others. Giving undue importance to every trivial matter only serves to weaken your influence. Sometimes the greatest victory lies in not allowing the person in front of you to even realize that they have affected or touched you in any way. Law No. 37. Impress people with grandeur. The world is naturally drawn to spectacle and showmanship. While the plain truth can often seem dull and unremarkable, a grand and compelling presentation captures people's attention and leaves a lasting impression. If you want people to truly focus on what you have to say, offer them a spectacular scene, one that will lodge itself in their memories and captivate their senses. Throughout history, kings and maharajas were masters of this art. They're magnificent. Costumes, majestic palaces, and gleaming golden swords were not just ornaments, but symbols designed to display their power and command. Even in today's modern world, if you align yourself with a great cause or become the face of a noble mission, people will naturally begin to follow you. Everyone longs for a story, a hero to believe in. Make yourself that hero. Grandeur is essential to making a powerful impact and inspiring loyalty. Law No. 38. Don't do what everyone else does. You can never truly stand out if you simply blend into the crowd. If you think like everyone else and follow the same path, your unique identity will dissolve into anonymity. To gain power, it's crucial to cultivate your own thinking and perspective. This doesn't mean you must constantly oppose others for the sake of difference, but rather, never lose your individuality. Those who try to please everyone often end up pleasing no one and risk losing their sense of self. Sometimes it helps to be a little mysterious, to be just a bit different. People become intrigued and try harder to understand your thoughts, and that curiosity commands respect. It is easy to follow the crowd. But true strength lies in standing apart and walking your own path. Being distinctive, rather than just another face in the crowd, is the real source of power. Law number 39. Keep people confused. Do not show clear intentions. The most powerful people in the world rarely reveal their true intentions. Instead, they keep others guessing, maintaining an air of mystery so that no one can predict their real objectives. When others are confused about your true goals, they cannot prepare or counter your moves effectively. This uncertainty gives you a significant advantage in any game of influence or power. When your plans are clearly visible and openly displayed, people quickly begin trying to stop them or sabotage your efforts. However, if your strategies and tricks are cleverly concealed within a fog of mystery and ambiguity, then those very people find themselves trapped in confusion, unable to untangle your moves. This very confusion becomes your greatest strength, a powerful shield behind which you operate undetected. Just like in a masterful game of chess, every move you make should be carefully pre-thought and deliberate. Similarly, in life, cunning and subtlety are essential. The less others understand what you are thinking or planning, the less control they will have over you. Remember, true power often lies hidden in the fog that you intentionally create around yourself. Law number 40. Always avoid free things. There is a strange irony in the world. The things that are given to you for free often carry the highest hidden cost. Something comes without effort, it often lacks real value, and more importantly, there is usually a hidden catch or trick lurking behind it. If someone offers you something completely free without any clear reason, be cautious. There is likely something wrong or a concealed motive at play. The world operates on exchanges and transactions, and those who constantly seek free things risk losing their freedom and becoming indebted or controlled by others. Truly powerful individuals earn what they get, investing their own hard work and money to ensure that they remain independent and free from influence. Remember, when you invest in yourself, you are also investing in your ability to influence others. As you progress in life, do not fall prey to cheap or free offers, because what appears inexpensive at first may end up costing you far more in the long run. Law No. 41. Look different from the one who came before. If you are stepping into someone else's shoes, whether it's a job, a role, or a position, you cannot simply be a carbon copy of that person. If you mimic them exactly, you will never earn a distinct identity of your own. Every new holder of power must prove themselves to be different and better. Without creating a unique identity, people will only measure you against your predecessor, and you will forever remain in their shadow. To truly succeed, you must show a new direction and impress people with your original thinking and style. Keep in mind, copycats always lag behind, while those with innovative ideas and distinct approaches are the ones who make history. Break free from the shadow of the person who came before you, or else you risk never shining on your own. Law No. 42. Control the movements that flow like water. When a large movement arises, whether it's a social revolution, a surge of public anger, or a wave of collective sentiment, it carries immense power. If you stand aside and merely watch, you risk being swept away and overwhelmed by the current. But if you manage to lead and direct that movement wisely, that same force can be harnessed to work in your favor. History teaches us that every great change, whether religious, political, or social, has had someone behind it who understood how to control the flow. That mastermind chooses not to be merely a part of the wave, but becomes the one who decides its direction. The one who understands how to ride the wave becomes the king of the tide. Law No. 43. Connect people with your heart. Not by force, power is not sustained merely through fear or commanding authority. If people follow you only because they are afraid, the moment that fear disappears, they will abandon you without hesitation. True and lasting influence comes from winning people's hearts and connecting with their emotions on a deep level. When you touch their feelings and inspire genuine loyalty, they will be willing to do anything for you, motivated not by obligation, but by sincere dedication. The impact of emotions runs very deep in a truly good leader. Such a leader is not merely a figure of authority, but someone who genuinely instills trust and affection in the hearts of their people. When people sense that you sincerely care about their well-being and interests, they are willing to sacrifice much for you, sometimes even their own comfort or safety. Loyalty, however, cannot be forced or demanded through power alone. It must be earned from the heart. Remember this well. The one who truly rules is the one who rules the hearts of others. This emotional bond is the foundation of genuine power. Law number 44. Confuse your enemies. Show them a mirror. The essence of this law is simple yet profound. When your enemy or opponent is causing trouble, instead of confronting them head-on, you turn their own tricks and tactics against them. People tend to be predictable, especially in their habits, reactions, and ways of thinking. By imitating their style, the way they speak, walk, and act to become a living mirror reflecting their own behavior back at them. This reflection unsettles them. Seeing themselves in you stirs their ego and frustration. They grow angry and confused, trapped in their own tactics, and it is from this tangled state that you can easily take control. The real victory comes when your opponent is ensnared by their own tricks without even realizing it. This law teaches you that subtle art of turning the enemy's strength into their weakness. Law No. 45. Win by cleverness without direct confrontation. Change is inevitable and necessary in the world, yet people often resist sudden upheaval. A wise leader accepts the need for change, but implements it slowly, carefully, and strategically. Rushing change causes fear and opposition, whereas gradual transformation allows people to adapt and feel comfortable. Show respect for the old system, keeping familiar elements intact so people do not feel their world is being turned upside down overnight. Your goal is to help them understand that change is essential and that they should support it willingly. There is an art to managing change, and only those who master this subtle skill can endure and thrive over time. Law No. 46. Never show your perfection. Appearing flawless in everything you do may seem like a strength, but it often breeds jealousy and insecurity among others. Human nature tends to feel threatened by those who always shine brightest, and as a result, groups may form against you. Displaying a hint of imperfection or humility makes you more relatable and approachable. You do not have to hide your true abilities, but you must carefully manage how much you reveal. Sometimes even deliberately showing small mistakes can be a clever tactic. True strength lies not in being the best at everything, but in knowing when and how much of your brilliance to reveal. Those who shine too brightly without restraint become easy targets for envy and resistance. Law, no 47. Know your limits after. Victory. Victory is the most dangerous moment for anyone in power. The thrill and intoxication of winning often blind people to their limits, causing them to overreach and lose everything. Wisdom lies in restraint. After achieving success, pause, reflect, and maintain your balance. This moment requires more caution than action. Understanding your boundaries after victory ensures that you do not fall victim to overconfidence and continue to hold your power steadily. Plan ahead calmly and thoughtfully. After every victory, it is crucial to take a deliberate pause a moment to reset your mind and reassess your position. Those who constantly crave more and more often risk turning their hard-won victories into painful defeats. True control becomes visible only when you understand exactly where to stop, when to hold back rather than push forward recklessly, to make your success endure for the long term. The real art lies not just in winning, but in knowing how to sustain that victory wisely. Law. No. 48. Be shapeless like water. If you remain rigid and bound to one fixed form or style, people will quickly understand your patterns and start preparing to counter you. However, if you learn to constantly adapt, sometimes calm and gentle, sometimes swift and forceful, one will be able to catch or predict you. Be like water, flowing and changing shape according to the container that holds it. This flexibility is the greatest strength of all. The person who knows how to change and evolve with the circumstances is the one who survives and thrives for a long time. In contrast, rigid thinking, strict rules, and inflexible attitudes can shatter even the strongest of individuals. You keep flowing, keep molding yourself to new situations, then no one can defeat you. True strength lies in not allowing yourself to be tied down by people, systems, or expectations. Those who remain fluid and adaptable command the power to endure and succeed through every challenge. These were the 48 laws of power. Each law serves as a flame, an illuminating mirror that offers you a fresh perspective to see both yourself and the world around you in a new light. The purpose of these lessons is not to make anyone merely clever or manipulative, but to make you truly wise. Remember, power itself is neither good nor bad. It is simply a tool. How you choose to use it is entirely in your hands. If you have enjoyed this journey so far, please show your support by liking the video and sharing in the comments which law you found most insightful or real. For more deep and thoughtful explorations like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Until then, see you in the next book, the next story, and with the next understanding. Be smart and always play smart.